This video is going to explain how we get all of the data log information from the PLC and put it onto this desktop computer. What we use is software called Cobian Backup. And Cobian Backup runs every 2 hours to grab all of the latest data log files from the PLC and place them onto the hard drive of this desktop so that Excel can connect to it and compile its spreadsheet accordingly. If the user would like to view the latest and greatest data log information, Cobian Backup can be triggered manually so that you don't have to wait for 2 hours for this to happen. In order to manually trigger Cobian Backup, you hover your mouse over the Cobian icon, which is this icon here. It sort of looks like a little pinwheel. You right click on it and you click on Run All Tasks Now. This window will pop up asking if you'd like to run the tasks, and you say OK. A window will pop up informing that a backup has started, and the wheel will start to spin. When the backup is complete, the wheel will stop and a window will pop up informing that a backup has been completed. The domestic hot water data log file is located on the desktop, so when you're ready to access it, just double click on the file icon. Alright, so we've already talked about how we back up the data log files from the PLC and place them onto the desktop hard drive. Next, we're going to talk about and walk you through the Excel spreadsheet that we use to analyze and chart the data log files. So the Excel spreadsheet is connected to the folder that stores all of the data log files on the hard drive, and we'll periodically look to that folder to see if there is any new information that has been backed up. The spreadsheet will do this when the file itself has been opened, and it will also do this once every hour. If the user would like to trigger this refresh for the spreadsheet to look for this in this folder for new data, they can do that by clicking on the data ribbon here and then clicking on refresh all. So all this information here is compiled from each data log file that is contained in the data log folder. Each row here is a data log point. At the bottom here, you can see we have 4 different sheets in the Excel spreadsheet. Each one has its own function. And we're gonna start with the raw data sheet. So this sheet contains every single data log point and all of the data log files that we have on record. At the top here, under the source name column, we have all of the data log file names, and the data log file names pertain to the dates that the files themselves were made. So this one, for instance, was made in 2018 on July 27th at 3:27 a.m. In this case, the domestic hot water supply temperature was 50 degrees Celsius. So to go through thousands and thousands of cells of information to find what you might want to see is a little bit cumbersome. So what we have here is a navigation tool called the slicer tool that you can use to only make visible the information that you want to see. For instance, if you want to look at August 1st's data log information, you simply click on the file name that pertains to August 1st, 2018. As you can see, all other information has gone away, and what we're left with is just the info for August 1st. This is a good feature for if you want to print only certain information. If you want to print the info for August 1st, click on there, click on print, and it brings up the print preview. And it looks like we have 2 pages worth of data for August 1st. If you like what you see, click print here and it'll print for you. If you want to see all of the raw data for an entire month, let's say, you click on the first day of the month and then you scroll down to the last day. Looks like we have up to August 21st on record. So for this exercise, the 21st will be the last day of the month. You hold the shift key on your keyboard and click on the last day of the month. Now, as you can see, all of the days of August are now available to view, and we can also print them all by clicking the same print button. And if you'd like to cancel the slicer filter, you just click on the button at the top here with the red X next to the filter. And now everything is visible. The next thing we're going to look at is the raw data chart. So you click on the sheet labeled raw chart. And it gives you a visual representation of what the temperature was doing from July 27th up until August 21st. So you'll notice that there's a slicer tool here as well, and this tool works in sync with this tool. So if you're viewing August 1st data again, you're seeing August 1st, if you click over to the raw chart, this slicer tool is now also selected on August 1st, and the chart automatically changes to show only that data. And of course, you can print that. Here's the print preview. If you like it, hit the print button. And much like the slicer tool in the raw data sheet, if you would like to view the whole month's worth of data in this chart, click on the first day and you shift click on the last day. And there it is. One thing of note is that when we download new programs onto the PLC, during that period, the PLC essentially isn't looking for temperatures. So if a data log is triggered at the same time that we're downloading a program, the value that will be recorded will be 0. And it will look something like this. The chart is configured to automatically show all of the values that are being selected at any given time. So it automatically zooms out to show all of the pertinent data here, but also the 0, which is considered null. So this is not an optimal viewing representation. So what you can do in situations like this is look at where the 0 is. So it's on August 1st, around 12:14. Go to your raw data, go to August 1st, and the 0 is going to be in a blue cell, which makes it easy to find. Any data that's below 40 degrees is going to show up in a blue cell, and any data that is above our high limit of 57.2 degrees Celsius will show up in a red cell. So we find our 0, and at this point we make sort of a guess as to what the temperature most likely was at that point, given what the temperature around it is. So it's sandwiched between two 51s. So let's say it's 50. So you enter 50, hit the enter key, go back to the chart, and now that's much more visually pleasing and gives you the idea of what was going on at that moment in time. So as you can see, you can make edits to the values, but these edits are simply temporary. Once the Excel spreadsheet refreshes with the data log files, it will automatically revert back to the values that are found in the data log files themselves. So any changes you make here will only be temporary, and you're not changing any of the actual records. So if you want to view all of the month's values, you do it like so. Now this is looking somewhat cluttered. It's maybe not the most pleasing to the eye. So what we've done is made a daily average, which you can find here on the daily average sheet. Now this is an average of each of the days of the month of August 2018, 8 for August. So on August 1st, the average temperature was 50.8 degrees Celsius. So what we've done is Excel will look at all of the data log reports from that day. So that's all these. And determine what the average is. And this, of course, you can print. Bringing up the print preview. So if you would like to print out all the data for a single month, an alternative to printing out hundreds of pages of cells is to just print out this one sheet which has the averages for each day and is a little less cumbersome. And of course, with the daily average sheet, we have an average chart. This is sort of a summary of the trend of what was going on during that month. So this chart and this chart are showing all of the same data. This is just all of the data, and it looks a little bit hairy. And then this is a nice, more pleasant to the eye view of basically what was going on during that time. And of course, you can print it. So to change what month you'd like to view, you go up here, 2018. I believe we have 5 entries for July. So we'll click on July, 7th month of the year, hit enter. Then we hit the filter refresh button to get rid of any days that don't have entries. And there's our 5 days, which we can print. And it will update it in the average chart as well, which we can print. If we want to go back to August, go back to the 8th month of the year, hit enter, filter refresh, and there it is.